Viewers, mashallah, Mullah Huzayfah has always reached, sorry, maaf karna, has also reached his seat. So let's go to Mullah Huzayfah.
लग रहा है कि रोजा ज्यादा लगा है
रोजाना
रोजाना
की तरह
रोजा लगता है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह
Well, Mullah, how are you, man?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
How's it going?
Alhamdulillah, we got a guest today as well.
जी कौन है?
Inshallah.
बोलो बोलो कौन है वो?
बाद में बताएंगे वो आएगी जब देखेंगे inshallah. So maybe she will also join us.
Definitely.
Even in this.
And they know हमारे viewers they know who. Once they see her anyway.
Inshallah, yes. So we can say inshallah our sister Yvonne Ridley mashallah has joined us. And inshallah if it's possible we can bring her into the transmission as well, the iftar transmission. If not, then later on she will be in the appeals as well, inshallah. So yes, my brothers and sisters, mashallah, we're coming very close to the end of our 13th fast and gearing towards the middle of Ramadan. And I always say this, that middle of Ramadan, once we hit the middle of Ramadan, once we hit the 15th, it's downhill from that, because the countdown begins. Although the countdown is only the last 10 days, but really from the 15th the countdown begins, because we have reached the halfway mark, and it's minus from there on. It's not always the first 15 days, first 10 days, 15 days. That's always the most difficult in terms of getting used to the schedule, getting used to the day, waking up, suhoor, sleeping, because we have to juggle between jobs and dropping kids off and then sleep and all of that. And it's always visible, that struggle is always visible on the faces, sometimes, because you have to struggle, your one night's sleep, which you are accustomed to sleeping 6 hours, 8 hours, in one go, has now been broken into 3 pieces or 2 pieces for some people because of suhoor. And those with school runs is broken into 3 pieces. So that sleep, Maulana, is not always in one go. And it's difficult to juggle between that. But 15 days later on, 10 days later on, you get used to that. You get accustomed to that. It's smooth sailing after that. And especially when you hit after 15, it's downhill, it's countdown, we're gearing towards the end of Ramadan, and the excitement of Eid al-Fitr, the excitement of Eid, preparing for Eid in terms of food. Special foods are required for Eid al-Fitr, special clothing are required for Eid al-Fitr and all of that. It's, the excitement ke andar, the last 10 days, 15 days, goes very quickly. You don't realize how quickly, these 10 days and 15 days are passing by. Sometimes it's only 14 days, if the month is only 29 days, for example. So this is the situation. But the good thing is that we are in the month of Ramadan. The good thing is that, alhamdulillah, the Ramadan month is still with us. We are alive, we are well. We can do a lot. We can still do a lot. What we can, in these few days, in the several days that is left from the month of Ramadan. One of the best things that you need to do at the time of iftar here is to make dua. As much as dua is possible, you need to make that, because this is the very crucial time, very blessed time. It's the time when when you want to, that you've fasted for the entire day. You've fasted for the entire day. You're gearing up towards having iftar meals. You've got the food ready in front of you, on your table, on the dastakhan. You're not supposed to eat yet until the time comes for iftar time. But you feel the hunger, you feel the thirst. That time when you make dua, not just for yourself, but for the ummah, it comes from the bottom of the heart. Because that is not the time you want to make dua, if you know what I mean. That is the time when you fasted for the whole day, you fasted for the entire day, you've been hungry, you've been thirsty, all day. You want to eat, you want to start digging in the food that is in front of you, but you can't eat. You want to eat. Your natural instincts say that you want to eat, but you don't. At that time, what do? You pick up your hand, subhanallah, and you make dua. And that dua, comes from the bottom of the heart. Just on the way to the studio here, I was listening to a scholar, and he mentioned about the story of Musa alayhi salam. And this one dua that he made, Musa alayhi salam, when he went to Yemen, Madian, and when he was running away from his people, he went to Yemen, he went to Madian, which is part of Yemen. And he went there. It was the evening, towards the end of the day, towards the end of the evening, and he came up to this well where there were women. They were taking water out from the well to take it to their homes, and there were two girls who were standing there, and they weren't getting their chance, and it was getting difficult for them to, because of other women crowding up and all of that. So he felt the need, even though he was tired. He was walking barefoot and all of that. He was tired, and he went up to the girl, and he took the bucket and the rope, and he took the water out for these two unknown girls. He took the water out for them, and he gave the water to them, and they went home earlier than expected. The father was very surprised to see the girls return home so early. So he asked, how come you return so early? Because normally there is a crowd of women, and they all want to take the water out, and these two young girls would not get the chance until everyone has done their chance, and so they would be very late into the evening before they return home with the water. So he asked, and then they told the father that there was this young man who helped us with the water very quickly and filled it for us, and so we came home early. So once Musa alayhi salam, once he took the water out for the girls, he had nowhere to go. He had no food, no shelter, nowhere to go, no job to do, nothing, no house to go to. He was in the middle of nowhere. So he sat down under a tree and he made dua. He was in need and he made the dua. And the dua is mentioned in the Quran, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. This is the dua that he made. As soon as he made the dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help came. And his help came. فَجَاءَتْهُ إِحْدَاهُمَا تَمْشِي عَلَى اسْتِحْيَاءٍ. Quran mentions this whole waqiyah in the Surah Al-Qasas, that one of the girls came because the father had asked, why you had come home early. So they mentioned the story that this young man, and he's sitting there. So the father sent for the man. So she came and she said, my father is calling, inna abi yad'uka liyajziyaka ajra ma saqaita lana. यानी आपने जो पानी निकाल कर दिया है उसका बदला देने के लिए, जज़ा देने के लिए, my father is calling you to my house. So, and then obviously the story is long, that he employed him, he gave him food, he gave him shelter, and not only that, he gave him the options to marry one of the two daughters. So, but this dua is what I'm referring to. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. He made this dua, and the meaning of this dua is, Ya Allah, I am in need of any good that you can send down upon me right now. I am in need of any good. Inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. I am faqir, I am begging for any good that you can send upon me right now. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent all four things together. When he went to that old man, to the father of the two young, he gave him a job. He gave him a 10-year contract for working for him. He gave him the option to marry one of his daughters. He gave him food and he gave him home and security. So this one dua that you make at the time of a need, at the time of when you are, when everything, subhanallah, is sort of turned away from you, when you are completely lost and alone, you make that dua. It comes from the bottom of the heart. It comes from sincerely from the bottom of the heart. And this is the time. This is the time. And I mentioned this, that at the time of iftar, you're hungry, you're thirsty, you're tired, your lips are chapped, your lips are dry, and you want to eat but you can't eat, at that time you make the dua. You make few moments to make the dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts that dua, inshallah. Ji Maulana.
Yes. Bilkul sahi Maulana. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. It's a very powerful dua. And may we also inshallah engage, hum bhi is tarah engage ho jaye duaon mein, that our duas are also accepted. And we talk about duas every single day. One thing is making dua. عموماً ہم دعا کرتے ہیں, روزانہ فرائض کے بعد دعا کرتے ہیں, تہجد میں دعا کرتے ہیں, صلاۃ الاشراق کے بعد دعا کرتے ہیں, چاشت کے بعد دعا کرتے ہیں, صلاۃ الاوابین کے بعد دعا کرتے ہیں, اور ویسے بھی عموماً گاڑی چلاتے ہوئے دعا کرتے ہیں, اسکول رنز کرتے ہوئے دعا کرتے ہیں. Our everyday existence مسلمانوں کے لیے دعا ہیں. صبح اٹھتے ہیں دعا کرتے ہوئے, when we go to bed دعا پڑھ کے سوتے ہیں, بیت الخلاء میں جاتے ہیں دعا پڑھتے ہوئے, آداب کا خیال رکھتے ہوئے. So our existence is ماشاءاللہ دعا. ایک دوسرے سے ملتے ہیں دعا دیتے ہیں, السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ. If we receive anything from anyone, جزاکم اللہ واحسن الجزا, دعا دیتے ہیں. So everything in our lives, every aspect in our life, every movement in our life, every maneuver in our life, ہر حرکت ہماری زندگی میں دعا ہے. And the most important thing, viewers, dua Allah can accept any time. Because ایک گھڑی ہے, there is a second, there is an hour, there is a minute. کسی کو نہیں پتا, no one knows. اللہ سبحانہ و تعالی دعا کو قبول کرتے ہیں.
سبحان اللہ.
That's why کبھی منہ سے ایسی کوئی بدوا نہ نکل جائیں کہ وہ بدوا وہ سیکنڈ پہ پڑ جائیں, وہ منٹ پہ ہو جائیں, وہ گھنٹے کے اندر ہو جائیں, پھر that بدوا will be accepted. تو اس کا بھی خیال رکھیں. اسی لیے یوم الجمعہ, آج مغرب کے بعد جمعے کی رات ہے. ٹوڈے مغرب کے بعد کیا ہے؟ جمعے کی شب جمعہ. کل جمعے کا دن. تو جمعے کا دن on a Friday بین العصر والمغرب, عصر اور مغرب کا جو درمیانی حصہ ہے, آخری گھنٹہ until مغرب, لاسٹ آور, مغرب سے پہلے کا جو گھنٹہ ہے, اس سے پہلے the 1 hour, اس گھنٹے کے اندر اللہ سے مانگے, اللہ دعا قبول کرتے ہیں.
سبحان اللہ.
اور ویسے شب جمعہ as soon as after مغرب دعا میں لگ جائیں, اللہ دعا قبول کرتے ہیں. At this time of Iftar we say this every single day, روزانہ کہتے ہیں آپ کے سامنے, this time دعا قبول کرتے ہیں. Yes, when we are in need of دعا, شاہ جی جب ہمیں دعا کی ضرورت ہوتی ہے نا, ہم پریشان ہیں, میں کسی چیز کے اندر یعنی زندگی میں لائف کے اندر میں پس گیا ہوں, اور مجھے پیسوں کی ضرورت ہے, یا مجھے کسی اور چیز کی ضرورت ہے, اور مجھے نہیں پتا کہ میں کیا کروں, میں یعنی سٹریسڈ ہو رہا ہوں, I'm getting depressed. تو اس وقت مجھے ضرورت ہے نا, تو پھر آٹومیٹکلی میں دعا کرتا ہوں. So there you need that. تو that وہ جو فیلنگ ہے کہ مجھے ضرورت ہے, یار اللہ بس مجھے کچھ دے دے, اللہ آسانی فرما, مجھے ضرورت ہے. So that should be the feeling. وہ فیلنگ ہر وقت تو دعا میں, چاہے کسی چیز کی ضرورت ہو یا نہ ہو ذاتی طور پر. When we need something ذاتی کے لیے, for myself, individual, میرے لیے, I want something, the way we make a dua at that time, that should be our style of our dua every time. تو ابھی دیکھیں میں الحمدللہ ٹھیک ٹھاک ہوں, میں صحیح سالم ہوں, میں خوشحال ہوں, مائی فیملی از گڈ, مجھے پیسوں کی فکر نہیں ہے, کام شام بھی اچھا ہے, اچھی سی گاڑی ہے, اچھا سا گھر ہے, بیسیکلی نائس, ایوری تھنگ از اوکے, اور میں جسٹ نارمل عبادت کر رہا ہوں, یو نو, اینڈ جسٹ نارمل دعا. لیکن اس وقت بھی دعا اس طرح کریں کہ آپ کسی پرابلم کے اندر جیسے ہوتے ہیں, ایشوز کے اندر ہوتے ہیں, اس طرح دعا کریں. So our dua should always be the same style کے دعا ہو. If you know, if you understand جس point پہ میں جانا چاہ رہا ہوں, when we are stuck in a problem اور کسی یعنی کسی misfortune کے اندر, اور اس وقت جس طرز سے دعا کرتے ہیں ہر وقت اسی طرز کو اختیار کریں. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah give us a tawfiq and also give us the understanding. تو شاہ جی کیا لگتا ہے کہ ہم افطار سے دعا سے پہلے کچھ کلام ہو جائیں؟
جی جی بالکل. اور آپ جو بات کر رہے تھے اسے اردو میں یوں ہی ناظرین و سامعین کے سامنے پیش کروں گا کہ یعنی دعا جب بھی مانگی جائے لجاجت کے ساتھ مانگی جائے.
جی جی بالکل.
تڑپ کے ساتھ مانگی جائے,
بالکل
تڑپ کے ساتھ مانگی جائے. یہ نہیں کہ دعا پڑھی جائے. ایک ہے دعا کو پڑھنا, ایک ہے کہ دعا کو دل کی گہرائیوں سے مانگنا. تو اللہ تعالیٰ تو نحن اقرب الیہ من حبل الورید, وہ تو شہرک سے بھی زیادہ قریب ہے. تو ہمارے مانگنے میں دیر ہو سکتی ہے, اللہ پاک کے عطا کرنے میں دیر نہیں ہو سکتی. تو اللہ پاک ہمیں ان بابرکت ساعات میں مانگنے کا ڈھنگ بھی عطا فرمائے. اور اللہ کریم ہماری جو ٹوٹی پھوٹی عبادات ہیں انہیں اپنی بارگاہ میں قبول فرمائے. یہ بڑے ہی بابرکت لمحات ہیں, قبولیت کے لمحات ہوتے ہیں. ہم نے ان لمحات میں جہاں اپنے لیے دعا کرنی ہے, اپنی فیملی کے لیے دعا کرنی ہے, اپنے احباب, اپنے والدین فوت شدگان کے لیے دعا کرنی ہے, مریضوں کے لیے, اس کے ساتھ ساتھ ہم نے اپنے ان مظلوم بہن بھائیوں کو یاد رکھنا ہے جن کے لیے ہم یہاں پہ بیٹھے ہوئے ہیں اور آپ سے اپیل کر رہے ہیں. ان کے لیے دعا کے ساتھ ساتھ ہم نے دعا بھی کرنی ہے. دعا ان کے لیے اللہ کے حضور کریں گے, اور دعا جو اللہ نے ہمیں عطا کیا ہے اس عطا کردہ مال سے صدقات کی صورت میں, عطیات کی صورت میں, ان کے ساتھ شیلٹر کی صورت میں, جس شیلٹر میں ہم بیٹھے ہیں یہ بھی ایک ان سے محبت کا اظہار ہے. الخیر فاؤنڈیشن جو ان کو یہ ٹینٹ فراہم کر رہا ہے, اور فوڈ پیک کی صورت میں ہم نے ان کا انشاءاللہ دست و بازو بننا ہے. تو اس موقع پہ میں چونکہ بات دعا کی چل رہی ہے, مولانا حذیفہ صاحب نے بات چلائی اور پھر آپ نے آگے بڑھایا ریان بھائی, تو میں اللہ کے حضور دعائیہ کلمات ہی پیش کرتا ہوں. مناجات اللہ قبول فرمائیں. ملاحظہ فرمائیے. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. گناہوں پر ہوں شرمندہ, الہی در گزر کر دے. گناہوں پر ہوں شرمندہ, الہی در گزر کر دے. بڑا مجرم ہوں میں تیرا, الہی در گزر کر دے. بڑا مجرم ہوں میں تیرا, الہی در گزر کر دے. خطا کوئی نہیں چھوڑی, کبھی عصیاں نہیں چھوڑا. خطا کوئی نہیں چھوڑی, کبھی عصیاں نہیں چھوڑا. بس صبر کرتا ہوں میں توبہ, الہی در گزر کر دے. بس اب کرتا ہوں میں توبہ الہی در گزر کر دے کھلونا اپنا کھلونا ہاتھ کا اپنے بنا رکھا ہے شیطان نے کھلونا ہاتھ کا اپنے بنا رکھا ہے شیطان نے بنا لے اپنا تو بندہ الہی در گزر کر دے بنا لے اپنا تو بندہ الہی در گزر کر دے تیرے دینے سے اے مولا تیرا تو کچھ نہ بگڑے گا تیرے دینے سے اے مولا تیرا تو کچھ نہ بگڑے گا مگر بن جائے گا میرا الہی در گزر کر دے گناہوں پر ہوں شرمندہ الہی در گزر کر دے خطائیں یاد کر کے آج میں آنسو بہاتا ہوں خطائیں یاد کر کے آج میں آنسو بہاتا ہوں تو رحمت کا بہا دریا الہی در گزر کر دے تو رحمت کا بہا دریا الہی در گزر کر دے بھکاری بن کے آیا ہوں تو اپنے در سے اے داتا بھکاری بن کے آیا ہوں تو اپنے در سے اے داتا مجھے خالی نہیں لوٹا الہی در گزر کر دے مجھے خالی نہیں لوٹا الہی در گزر کر دے وہ جس پہ چل کے بندوں نے انعام پایا ہے وہ جس پہ چل کے بندوں نے تیرا انعام پایا ہے رستا الہی در گزر کر دے دکھا مجھ کو بھی وہ رستہ الہی در گزر کر دے گناہوں پر شرمندہ الہی در گزر کر دے بڑا مجرم ہوں میں تیرا الہی در گزر کر دے.
سبحان اللہ سبحان اللہ، بہت بہترین، ماشاء اللہ ماشاء اللہ. اور یہ بھی یہ دعائیں کلمات تھے ڈیفینیٹلی صراط الذین انعمت علیہم، یعنی ایسی جو ہے اس راستے پر ہمیں جو ہے تو چلا جس پر تو نے انعام فرمایا ہے، غیر المغضوب علیہم ولا الضالین، ان لوگوں کے راستے پر نہ چلا کہ جن کے اوپر جو ہے اللہ کا غضب نازل ہوا ہے. تو یہ دعائیں کلمات ہے. سبحان اللہ. اور ہمارا ٹاپک آج انشاءاللہ چاہتے نہ چاہتے ہوئے جو ہے دعا کا ہو گیا ہے انشاءاللہ. تو ایک غلط فہمی دعا کے معاملے میں جو ہے اکثر ہوتی ہے. پیپل ہیو مسکنسیپشن دیٹ when you make دعا قبول نہیں ہوتی ہے. تو میں تھوڑا سا اس کے بارے میں بتا دوں کہ دیکھیے دعا اللہ سبحانہ و تعالیٰ سے آپ جو بھی دعا کریں گے وہ قبول ہوتی ہے، کیونکہ اللہ سبحانہ و تعالیٰ فرماتے ہیں وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيب، جیسے آپ ابھی بتایا شہرک سے قریب ہے اللہ سبحانہ و تعالیٰ. تو اگر انسان جب دعا کرے گا وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيب أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ، whenever you ask from me I will definitely give you. Ujibu, I will respond to you. But the misconception is that when you ask for something, جب آپ دعا مانگتے ہیں، کچھ چیز مانگتے ہیں تو فوراً نہیں ملتی ہے. When you don't get it immediately, you feel depressed and you feel you lose hope that Allah is not accepting our dua. But in reality that's not the case. And I'll give you an example. When you have children and in the winter month the children ask for ice cream for example, وہ ضد کرتے ہیں کہ بھئی ہمیں آئس کریم دے، یا ایسے موقع پر جو ہے تو ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ آئس کریم دینا بچوں کے لیے مضر ہے. It's not the right time to give an ice cream to your child, or asking for chocolates and sweets when they have bad teeth for example. So that having chocolates or sweets when they have bad teeth, or when it's winter, when it's cold, and when they've got fever and all of that, asking for ice cream and things like that is not good for them. You don't give them that. They ask, they are crying, they're begging, they're having their they're doing all that drama to get the ice cream, but you don't give it.
Tantrum.
Because the tantrum, but you don't give it. Why? Because as the father or the mother, that the ice cream is not gonna be beneficial for my child. In fact, you turn around and you offer them something else which is going to be beneficial for you at that time. Okay, this is the way. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, what is good for you and what is bad for you. You might ask for something, but Allah knows that thing you're asking for is not good for you. So He might in return give you something better or an alternative. So this is the misconception. So whenever you ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your du'as are accepted. It goes to Him. It goes to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He accepts, He listens, because He mentions it in the Quran clearly. Whether you get what you ask for immediately, you don't know. Because you don't know what's good for you, you don't know what's bad for you. Yeah, for example, Haroon is standing there. If it's good for him or not, I don't know. But I think it's good for him if he comes here and sit down with us.
And on that note, Maulana, isi note pe, when Allah accepts our prayers,
yes,
jo Allah dua ko qabul farmate hai na.
Do elaborate. This is one thing, but you do elaborate on
that. So
isme
elaboration nahi hai. It's another point that when Allah accepts the dua, that we know. That's a yaqeen belief that we have. But dua फिर जब मांगे, ask Allah, अगर Allah इसमें मेरे लिए खैर है, Allah give it to me. अगर खैर नहीं है, तो फिर इसको आप दूर कर दें. So that's the adab, the etiquettes. Dua इस तरह करे. So then you know that Allah will accept. और साथ साथ ये है, the articles of iman, wal qadri, khayrihi wa sharrihi. It's fate. Whether it's good or bad, we will get. But our job, like Maulana just said very nicely, our job is to ask. Make dua. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, agar isme ya Allah khair hai, to mujhe ata kar. Agar khair nahi hai, it doesn't matter.
Thabraz bhai is smiling away, so he's got something to say.
Because Thabraz is... Thabraz, I was gonna go to Thabraz just to ask you, how was your day off yesterday?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. I had to go to Birmingham and it was amazing. So I've worn my Sufi interpretation, modern day Sufi interpretation, this woolen top today. Okay. And alhamdulillah, my brother, I just you know, like every day I see a new, not a new miracle, it's not a miracle, but every day it just feels good to be close to Allah. Bas. We left Birmingham praying Salah in an area we didn't know what time Jamaat was. It was Jamaat time. We got to Croydon, got here, and we taunted heat, time. And it was Jamaat time. It's like Allah was guiding us, Allah was protecting us.
That's what you want, because that's what you want.
And it felt like this is how you should live your life all the time, all year. People are thinking at home, I mean, in the mosque, but no, he doesn't pray normally.
What happens when you go to Birmingham?
Yeah. That's what happens when you go to Birmingham Sharif. Yeah, Birmingham Sharif, you see.
That's to Bartley Sharif. Sharif लगा है.
Sharif एक ही है.
Sharif एक ही है. Bartley Sharif है.
ये दूसरा वाला शरीफ है.
वो शरीफ हो ही नहीं सकता. Sharif एक ही है. Anyway, how's Haroon Deutsch?
Alhamdulillah.
The bone.
Bone like this?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Haroon mashallah is good, excellent. It's good to see Haroon.
So we're talking about dua today.
All right, alhamdulillah.
And unintentionally we just gone onto that topic, so.
Oh, alhamdulillah. Dua is mukhul ibadah, isn't it? Is the essence of our ibadah. And this is the month of ibadah. So dua should be there, day in, day out. Night, day, evening, morning. Dua should be there.
Especially this time. Especially this time.
Absolutely. And this is a special time after Asr, between Asr and Maghrib. It's you know, nur ala nur when it comes to dua. Because, you know, the heavens open up and your du'as go straight to the heavens, inshallah.
Subhanallah.
There's no dalil behind that, but I just made that up. But, you know what I mean? This but it's a special time, right?
Well, so, it's, look, Friday night starting after
and subhanallah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't get any better. Yeah. It's a time that you have to utilize, honestly. You know, yesterday I was just sitting there and just thinking to myself, how quick have the first 10 days gone by?
Yeah.
You know, we're now 13, 14.
Flying.
And it's just flying.
You know what? I just want to ask another question now that you're on dua, before you go. Can we say, have Thabraz or you or myself or Maulana or Shaji, is there any experience that we made dua or hamari dua foreign qabul hui or we saw something like that? Is that something that you can share?
Many times.
Yeah, many times.
Yeah?
I've thought of something.
Kuch misal? Kai baar hua hai? Example.
I think that it's probably that moment. What I do is I note that moment, and I think that, you know, maybe this is that moment what you were talking about. You know, पूरे दिन में एक घड़ी होती है कि जो मांगो दुआ कबूल होती है. You say, oh, इसमें जो है आप ये मांग लेते, but you know that's the dua. That moment, so you note down the moment because it could be.
Yeah, I've wasted a lot of duas like that, Maulana Sahab. Yeah, I mean, I could have asked a lot of things.
So give me an example of something that happened to you that you made dua.
Just a small one.
And you know, because of that dua, you're so confident that us dua ki wajah se mera ye kaam hua hai.
You know, some duas are not said by the lips, but they're felt by the heart.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, dua is in your heart.
There's many duas, but I can't say those duas what they were for, you know, because they're personal to me. But I'll give you an example. I went on Tabligh Jamaat, right? And I was 40 days. I was in Luton, the masjid in Luton. I was sitting there, and we used to put money together to buy, you know, soda khareedne ke liye, drinks, and we were all young guys. We were like about 10 of us were like 16, 17 years old, and there were 3, 4 elderly. So, you know, we were really heavy on the soft drinks and the fruits and the sweets and stuff like that. So we were sitting together one day, and we were the drinks were finished and the budget was gone, right? So we had no drinks left, we had no fruits left, we had no sweets left. We just sat there and we just saying, we wish we had some drinks tonight, man, for iftari, because it's Ramadan as well. He goes, we wish we had some drinks and fruits and we had food tonight. And as we said it, literally 2 minutes later, an old man walks in with bags full of juices and drinks and fruits. And he goes, I've heard this Jamaat here. This is for the Jamaat, right?
MashaAllah.
We got it. A different place. This is still in Luton. We went to a different place. And we were sitting there together with all the guys. And we were saying, oh man, one guy goes, I wish I had chicken and chips from that specific shop in Birmingham. Other guys, I wish I had pizza from that place. That night they finished the khatam of the Quran, so they had jalebis and stuff and sweets at the exit, and we thought we're gonna have that afterwards, but by the time we got to it was finished, right? So we were thinking, I wish we had jalebis and all of this kind of stuff. Then the next evening, one of the guy's fathers came just to visit him, and he bought pizza from that specific shop. He bought chicken and chips from that specific shop. He bought jalebis. He bought, everything that we asked for. It was there in front of us. So, you know what I mean? It's like small experiences that I can share. But there's, of course, other du'as that I can't share everything on TV.
Of course,
you know what I mean? Got to
We've
keep
got
some for myself.
got 2 minutes left.
Okay, 2 minutes. I think we'll carry on with this tomorrow because I want to ask everyone, and I'll share something as well. That dua that we made, you made personally, and it's made a change in your life.
And not only that, if there's any viewers as well, agar koi call karna chahe at that time, and a very specific dua that they've made, and immediately it's been sort of accepted, and so you can share that with us.
It's interesting.
जी
The bone, हाँ जी.
नहीं आप माशाल्लाह बहुत अच्छी दुआ करते हैं.
Ip tip no. शुरू कर ले.
اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا فإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. اللهم إني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت فاغفر لي مغفرة من عندك وارحمني إنك أنت الغفور الرحيم. یا اللہ قبولیت کے ان لمحات میں بابرکت لمحات میں افطار کے وقت ہم آپ کے حضور ہاتھ پھیلائے بیٹھے ہیں. ہمارے ناظرین و سامعین بھی آپ کے حضور ہاتھ پھیلائے بیٹھے ہیں. ہماری دعاؤں کو اپنے کرم اپنے فضل سے قبول و منظور فرما. یا اللہ ہمارے دل میں جتنی نیک تمنائیں ہیں یا اللہ انہیں پورا فرما. ہم میں سے جتنے لوگ بیمار ہیں انہیں شفائے کاملہ عاجلہ مستمرہ دائمہ نصیب فرما. جو ہمارے پیارے دنیا سے رخصت ہو گئے یا اللہ ان کی کامل مغفرت فرما. یا اللہ ہم جو زندہ ہیں ہمیں دین اسلام پر استقامت نصیب فرما. یا اللہ رمضان شریف کے تقریباً آدھے روزے گزرنے والے ہیں. یا اللہ ہمیں باقی روزوں کی قدر کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما. یا اللہ ہماری عبادات کو قبول فرما. یا اللہ جو ہم صدقات دے رہے ہیں یا اللہ اسے قبول فرما. جو عطیات دے رہے ہیں یا اللہ اسے قبول فرما. جو لوگ الخیر فاؤنڈیشن کے ساتھ کسی بھی حوالے سے مظلوم مسلمانوں کے لیے تعاون کرتے ہیں یا اللہ انہیں اپنی جناب سے بہترین بدلہ عطا فرما. یا اللہ قیامت کے دن نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وآلہ وسلم کی شفاعت نصیب فرما. آپ کے دست مبارک سے حوض کوثر کا پانی عطا فرما. آپ علیہ السلام نے جتنی بھلائیاں مانگی یا اللہ ہمیں بھی عطا فرما. جن شرور و فتن سے پناہ مانگی یا اللہ ہمیں بھی پناہ عطا فرما. دنیا میں جہاں جہاں مسلمان مظلوم ہیں یا اللہ ان کی مدد نصرت اعانت فرما. یا اللہ خاص طور پہ غزہ کے مسلمانوں کی مدد نصرت اعانت فرما. یا اللہ ہماری ان دعاؤں کو محض اپنے فضل و کرم سے قبول و منظور فرما. مرتے وقت ہم سب کی زبان پر ایمان کے ساتھ کلمہ طیبہ جاری فرما. لا الہ الا اللہ محمد الرسول اللہ. سمعنا واطعنا غفرانک ربنا وإلیک المصیر برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین. Oh